Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Gamecast episode 617. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinsod.
Ahoy.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Yo, yo, yo.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners and viewers. Streaming live on Twitch. Join us. Chat with us. Please come along. We are also on YouTube the following day, so you can check it out there if you missed this live stream. But hit that subscribe on either one. Smash it.
Smash it.
Welcome to 617, guys, of the Gamecast. We got to kick it off with what we've been up to. Mike, what have you been playing?
Let's see. I'll do the first thing that will probably cause less conversation. I actually, on Game Pass, since we mentioned Game Pass last week, I'm like, well, I'm a little tired of the things I've been playing over and over. So I looked up Firewatch, if you remember that one. That's on Game Pass. It's one of those sort of first-person narrative adventure games. It's a quick play. It's like 4 or 5 hours. Play through it. It's solid. It's good. I'm already done. It took 2 nights.
Nice.
It's kind of depressing, but it's fine. I don't know if you guys have any interaction with it or something similar at all.
I watched some people stream it when I think.
Okay. Did you get the story completely or
No.
not? No. Okay. Yeah, so interesting. It stars I expected it to be a little something different than it was, but I liked it enough. It was good.
Yeah, I know it got good good reviews.
Yep.
And then the other thing I played, and it was because a friend asked me
Overwatch
to at
2.
first. Overwatch 2.
Mhm.
Yep.
It was cool.
I played Overwatch 2, which is Overwatch TOO, really, as I think Girlfriend Reviews did that.
Yeah,
I didn't
probably.
come up with that. And it is the same game with obviously there's a lot of new characters for someone who hasn't played in a long time like me. But I don't understand. I did merge my accounts, but it takes literally an hour, 2 hours just to merge accounts. After the sign-in period, it needs to do something. I don't know why it has to take that long to do
Upload
that.
it all to the cloud. Who knows? It's
I mean,
all in the
It
cloud
took
now.
like
You know
an
what it is?
hour. It doesn't make any
Wait,
sense.
wait,
It's probably because it's archived. I'm guessing it's not spun up, so they got to go and find your data on the server,
Right.
spin it up, and
when you
migrate
say
it.
they merge, did you have to just wait at a screen, or they're like, we'll let
No,
you have
I
it come
could
back?
play, but it wouldn't have my handful
your
of
stuff.
skins
Yeah,
for
yeah.
each character that I didn't get a lot, but I just found it interesting that it's like accounts are merging. This will change later. It would be like an hour, a merge queue. I'm like, what? Really?
Yeah.
I just
A
filled
lot of
all this
people are
out.
doing
You
it,
found
too.
my account, but I guess
The game is having so
whatever.
many server issues right now, and I'm not excusing it. I'm just not surprised. And we're still having.
Yeah,
log
they even came
issues.
out, apologized, and giving people stuff for the bad launch and stuff. So
Yeah. And obviously I looked at the battle pass and it's terrible. I'm not going to spend money on it.
It's so funny because real quick, somebody on Era actually made a thread that was like, somehow Blizzard went away with loot boxes and made a worse system, and it was so funny because that's exactly it. It's exact. And I know we talked about it a few weeks ago, but I'm just like, yep, here it is. I knew it. I was like, man, all this tirade against loot boxes when me personally I don't think any of us were really affected by loot boxes. But it's like, oh look, you guys complain about it. Look what happens. It's worse now. Surprise.
At least you had a chance with the loot box.
Yeah.
Now you just don't know what you're getting, or if you'll ever get what you pay for.
or you have to spend 40 hours a week, full-time job to get it.
But it was fun. There's obviously some new characters to learn, and I didn't really have too many network problems. I also don't understand how, unless it's not open, how to do the whatever challenge to unlock competitive or play.
I thought the way they advertised or talked about it during launch week is that if you had the account, maybe it's because the merge didn't happen, but my understanding was if you had Overwatch 1, you could jump into competitive, but if you were a new account, they made you go through 50 or 100 matches or whatever it is because they want to cut down on those Smurf accounts and stuff like that. Yeah.
Sure. So I don't know. Maybe my merge wasn't done before, even though it said it was, or my
maybe
play is so old that it didn't
Yeah, it
convert
didn't
because
convert.
this is a while ago now that I stopped playing
Yeah.
Overwatch.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
whatever, it's the same game.
Corey, did you
It's all
play
right.
more of that?
No, I did not play more of it. It's whatever. I have some
It is
friends
what it
that
is.
want to play, but it's not really worth my time right now.
All right. All right. What have you been playing? What did you play anything?
This week I've not been playing much
Sports?
of anything.
Sports.
All sports.
Got it. I
Yep.
I ended up loading Turtles the collection.
There
Cowabunga.
we go.
Cowabunga
Cowabunga collection.
Yeah.
So I got to I bought that for $25. I was
I
thought
thought
it was a good
deal.
I meant to
Yeah.
get it. I'll have to
It
see
was a
still.
good deal when it was 40.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's still
I
at 40.
saw
Anything less
saw-
is just
yeah.
golden.
I saw Wario post it from the Indie Gala, I think it's called, or Indie. Yeah, so I was like, I never used them before, but I was like, whatever, I'll give it a shot. He's
think, like,
posting. I
Game-
trust it.
Yeah, no, it's
Game
legit.
Bullet
So-
or Game Bullet or something.
Yeah,
had
if
it.
Wario's ever like, this is sketch, he'll preface be like, I've never heard of this site before. Give it a shot if you're willing to risk a credit card.
Yeah, no, he posted that, so I went in there and bought that, and I got I played Turtles in Time. I actually
Which
tried
one?
out.
Which
one?
version?
Yeah, which
Uh,
one?
That was the hard part. The first one on the cartridge. I think it was the SNES
The
version.
I think the first one is the arcade one.
Oh, is it?
Play it
Whichever-
handheld
no.
or on your TV?
It was handheld. So I had a hard time seeing the.
Maybe that's
version
why
of
you
it.
can't tell the difference.
Yeah. I had a hard time seeing the difference because I was flipping between the two of them, trying to figure out which one it was. I chose the first one, which may be the arcade because I was getting.
It doesn't
I mean, I don't.
explicitly state which one it is.
I didn't
They
see it anywhere on
do.
the
They
screen.
do. Well, no, there's a logo of which
Maybe I missed the logo.
system
Then?
it was on the bottom. Like it's not an official logo. It's just like
It's still,
you'll see an arcade cabinet or a NES
Or Super
controller, stuff like
still
that.
$25 at
I'll pick it up.
Game
I'll pick it up
Bullet
after this.
But
as of
No.
Tuesday at 9 o'clock, the 18th.
you do see the differences between the versions quite a bit more the way this is set up. Like the arcade version is quite a bit quicker than the Super Nintendo version, and it is a little bit cleaner too.
Yeah.
But the Super Nintendo version has
Yeah,
extra levels and way better bosses, and
This
feels
is
a
just
little
I
less
think the
cheap.
music, too.
This was just a basic game too, so yeah, I don't think that. But I don't remember it being as challenging as it was. Like I got destroyed like this. I can't remember. I don't know how many quarters I must have gone through with this
Oh,
game
yeah.
in the arcades.
All the arcade ones are tough. Although I think the first one is even worse with cheapness. Turtles in Time arcade is
Yeah,
you have a chance.
I feel like I just played the Turtles game. I think I did it when we were on my bachelor party trip.
Mhm.
I think I played the game, so I didn't play that one. That's why I played Turtles in Time, and I played Tournament Fighters.
Which one? The Super Nintendo one?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I couldn't.
I don't
I
want
couldn't
to
find-
make a game out of
I
it.
couldn't find the version on the screen.
If it's a colorful kind of good one, it's the Super
Load it up,
Nintendo
Jim.
version.
Prove it.
I'm gonna pull it out. I
Do
don't know
it
where it's on the
live.
screen. But like, if you guys can show me where this is on the screen, I will be forever.
It's on the
grateful.
bottom in the center. Maybe it gets cut off on your display. I don't know.
How old are you, Jim? God,
I don't know.
damn.
Put some glasses
I
on,
don't
old
know.
man.
So how do I exit this thing here?
It's
Anyways.
probably the Super Nintendo. The way that if you just go like left to right through the games, kind of the better stuff is at the front. It's very front loaded. You get all the Game Boy stuff at the end, and the best tournament fighters by far is the Super Nintendo one.
I had this
There's-
one too. Sorry, Colin. Yeah,
Where
I
are you,
played. Huh?
Where
I know.
are
I'm
you,
trying to
bud?
load it. Panzer Dragoon loaded. Sorry.
Mm,
But yeah, it's why I don't even know how to download content, but whatever. So I'm trying to see where this is on this game. But okay, so anyways, I played Tournament Fighters, and I believe it was probably the Genesis version. I don't know. I just got.
If it's
got
the Genesis
destroyed.
version, you're gonna get like wiped every time unless you like look stuff
Every
up.
round, every match.
Look
I
stuff
played,
up and cheese the cheesers. You got to do corner grab over and
That's
over
all I was
again.
getting done was grab. That had to be the Genesis version. That's all I got. That's
Probably.
all that was happening. So.
Did you
like-
hear someone say Cowabunga?
Oh, Banga.
Cowabunga. Yes, the clone turtles say Cowabunga
Right.
in
so
the Genesis
here
version. After they beat the
is-
shit out of you.
Here's what I see. I don't know if you can.
That's the Super Nintendo version.
How do you? Where's that? Oh, because it's the bottom of the screen, the controller.
Yeah. Also, I just know
Oh.
what they look like now because I've played them all a bunch.
Oh, I can see. Okay, I see it. The controller layouts. And
I mean, the
okay.
Super Nintendo version is hard too.
I have to know
But
the controllers. You have to know the controllers. That's all. Which is
did
kind of weird.
you know how you can look at the strategy guide for each game as well?
I did
The
not.
strategy you can well, I don't know what the
game I
button
don't.
is for you.
What game I want to go back to playing in this is the original NES version of the Turtles game.
Save all the time.
I know,
Yes.
because I never finished that game. I never beat that game. I never beat that game. By the
And
third level, I
also-
had no turtles left.
Also, for a trip, there's the watch mode, which you sound like, oh, you don't want to do that. That's cheating, and it is cheating. But just to see, because them go through and not get hit
It's insane.
in these games is ridiculous, especially the arcade games.
It's like watching a speed
It's very,
run.
it's very tedious actually in the first arcade game because you see the guy literally like running in circles, making a line of like foot soldiers chasing him, so he doesn't get hit ever. And then he takes one out and then stops and runs away and slowly in circles. It's ridiculous how they had to do that. I did resort to that a little bit with the NES version at one point because I didn't save at the right time, or I saved when I had too many injured turtles. So I just, skipped to them.
Yeah. All right, Tony, what have you been playing?
Let's see. Over the weekend, showed to some of the Eastern crew the Xbox Series S emulation capabilities and stuff like that. So just a gamut of retro games, spanning from Worms Armageddon on Dreamcast to
the game on
yeah,
Dreamcast.
loaded up a bunch of like PlayStation games, 64 stuff. I mean, it's just awesome. If you have a Series S, or I think even X, you need to do this. It's just, how would you not? But then to try to help sway the incoming request for Holiday Halo, I showed them Master Chief Collection as well, and how you could just queue if you just want to play matchmaking for Halo, any of the Halos or a couple of the Halos. And they're like, wait, you can just queue up for like the Halo games you like? I was like, yeah, dude. And they're like, oh my god, that's awesome. So it was of course as they were about to leave, I was like, oh, I forgot to show you guys this. So then I showed them this, and they're like, wait, you also like take other people online? I was like, yes. I could take both of you online right now, and we could play matchmaking. And they're like, what? So like we booted up. Next thing we know, we're playing Halo for another hour past the time they were trying to leave.
Of course.
Stuff like that. But it was just fun going through some of those old things. Now, I will say, Saturday night at 1 a.m. or whatever it is, East Coast, I expect anybody else to be playing Halo, like CE, Combat Evolved online, is probably pretty good to some capacity. But we fought this one group that was just insane. And I was like, are you guys hacking? Because it was literally no scope headshots around the corner, stuff like that from a sniper rifle. I'm like, okay, I know I don't have the best reaction times anymore, but that is insane. Like, that is just, you had like a 1 second window.
JV'd your ass, man.
Oh, they did.
You to JV.
Oh, they did. It was humiliating. I was like,
I think the other issue is a lot of the newer players are probably still trying to stick it out with Infinite at the point. So anyone who's still like good late night on Master Chief Collection has been playing that game for like 5 years or whatever.
So
nonstop.
Yeah, so we'll see that. Other than that, the new game I got, and this is totally just off of somebody I follow on Twitter, just making a comment, but it's a game called Potionomics. And I don't know if we were doing the podcast this time, this other game release, but it's called Reciteer, and it was like an item shop tale. It's like super, and when I say indie, it's like super indie in terms of like a handful of Japanese developers made this indie game where it was an RPG, but instead of playing like the heroes or anything like that, you played as an item shop keeper.
Right.
And what you had to do is you had to buy and trade, sell like items, and then put them on display and draw people into your item shop, and then haggle prices up and down and stuff like that. Like maximize your profit so you could build up your shop and then carry and sell more items, and then so on and so forth. Capitalism ho. That was the big meme for it. Stuff like that. One of my favorite games. And ever since then, I was like, man, why don't people make a game like that and stuff like that? And then all of a sudden, I read that there's this game called Potionomics that was in development for like 6 years, indie title, but it takes that idea but puts a spin on it. Instead of just being a general item shop, you're a potion maker in a fantasy RPG world and stuff like that. Kind of the same premise, like the main character's uncle dies and leaves her his potion shop and stuff like that. So she comes in, moves in, And lo and behold, it was a trick. Like now she inherits not only his shop but his debt of like 1,000,000 gold coins. She's like, I'm never gonna make 1,000,000 gold coins in my life. They're like, yeah, well, because of the contract, we're just gonna enslave you then, basically, until we feel that you paid your debt. So the whole game is about you trying to make better potions, selling the potions, and kind of the same thing, bartering with prices with NPCs. But instead of just like dialogue choices, they implemented a like card game aspect, and it's kind of like any card game or like Dominions or something like that, where it's like you have time, like a merchant will have like 10 time units, and you have to do all your actions before 10 the counter reaches 0, and then they get disinterested and just leave the shop. So then you play these cards to try to like bring the value up or prevent them from like using their negotiating tactics on you and stuff like that. But long story short, it's really fun. I loaded up, had no expectation of this, and just next thing I knew, like 2 hours gone, I was like, oh shit, it's dark out all of a sudden. Like, I need to cook dinner and stuff. Because it was literally just, I read a tweet post about it. It came out like Friday or something like that. I was like, okay. And then Monday, I bought it on a whim. Or Monday, I'm sorry. Yeah, Monday. I bought it and just started loading. I was like, oh, I'll play the first day. And then I played like the first week. It's 2 hours later. I was like, oh shit, like I need to go make dinner and stuff like that.
Nice.
Anyway, fantastic game. $20 I think right now. And just another awesome, indie title, which just is not being.
So there's a guy that I like listen to his podcast. He does Steam Deck stuff, so like I'm all in on the Steam Deck. And he's like, he talks about it, and he's like, it's deck verified. So
deck verified.
Interesting. I might have to pick that one up too. Cool. I'm looking at it now.
Yes, Jim, you got a PC.
It's New World,
right
man.
Now,
so... New World, guys.
Oh yeah, sorry. So then the other part too, real quick, is that it's part dating sim too.
Mm-hmm.
And that all the NPCs you can romance them and stuff like that. So like it's kind of like
not your marriage. You got to get that experience somewhere else, Jim. It's all downhill, so you got to.
It's insane because they literally took like kind of like the think of the Persona like overworld type of time management where like you have so many units of time in the day to do like non-combat stuff where it's like, oh, I want to hang out with Ryuji or whatever. It's like, oh, I want to hang out with the tank NPC or something like that. Like you do that, and that's how you build relationships. So it's like time management as well as like the store and potion management and stuff like that. It's really complex actually, but it's so much fun. I'm really enjoying it.
Cool. All right. Let's go into some news, guys.
Potionomics, by the way, if you forgot what we're talking about.
Yeah, Potionomics. Sorry, we talked a little while on that one. Yeah, I'll mention it probably next week because it is in my cart. All right. It sounds good. It sounds like exactly kind of like a, I don't know, crazy involved. Yeah, not a crazy involved game. And I still think I'm detoxing from Elden Ring. It's so weird to just like.
You got every game about the Steam Deck though, and Switch too. Obviously, you can like put on like football or something or baseball, and you could be playing a game and just kind of, especially with baseball, because baseball, whatever, you just peek up every once in a while.
Yeah, no, I just
now
like
the Mets are gone, so
yeah, no, that's why you don't have to really watch it. But yeah, I think that there it is. Portion off. It was 10% off.
Watch this.
Okay. Cool. Anyways, so we're gonna get into news now. Let's do that. Let's see what we got. There's a couple things right now. Let's kick it off with Microsoft bad news. Microsoft laying off employees. I saw this today. Nearly 1,000 people across the company in multiple divisions. A lot of it was it including Xbox and Edge teams, but I know that there was a lot of development divisions. Next Gen Tech, right?
Yikes.
Apparently,
yeah. 1,000 people laid off. Did this happen today or was this yesterday? I can't remember already. It's been like a blur in the last 2 days. It was yesterday, right? They did all this? Yes, yesterday. So, I don't know. They give any other explanation?
No, I mean, I think they announced it during one of the quarterly, like the last quarterly investor relations call over the summer or something like that. And it just kind of like, because they touted, they're like, oh, this is less than 1% of our workforce or something like that. When you think about like 1,000 jobs, you're like, oh, that's a lot of people and stuff. So it sucks. It is what it is. It's just, we're in a recession, blah blah blah. But it is just like kind of like crazy when you think about like you're buying Activision Blizzard for how many billions of dollars, and then you're laying off 1,000 people, and then in the next quarter or something like that. It's just kind of insane.
Yeah. Yeah, it is crazy. All right, what else we got? Nintendo takes step to protect its staff for the growing harassment issues we're seeing in the industry. So, what steps has Nintendo taken here to protect their staff from the crazy neckbeards? We'll call it neckbeards.
Well, I don't know if it's actually directed at the neckbeards reading this. It seems like it's actually more directed at the Karens and what did we say?
Okay.
A male version of a Karen was?
Kens, I think.
Yeah, Karens and Kens. In that, they said that any customers that try to harass their employees, whether it be customer service, people.
Oh, Jim, don't call them.
I did think of you, Jim, when I read this. But yeah,
as long as they provide
Amazon.
as long as they provide good customer service. Yeah, I yelled at them like crazy.
Well, no, that's exactly what they're saying. They're like, if you do this, we will most likely ignore your request, and if it's a repeat offense, we might just like refute you and ban like your Nintendo account. Which, you know, it sounds drastic, but at the same time, like, more power to them, because I don't think enough
nobody deserves
protect,
like the people that are serving you don't deserve to get harassed.
Right.
They're not the ones.
Right.
Like they're taking the front end of this assault, but like they're not the ones to blame.
Yeah, absolutely. And I even like personally the other week I had to talk to Amazon because there was a charge that somebody made on one of the Fire Sticks that are in my household. And I was like, yo, like, this is a mistake. Like, it was my brother-in-law. He had like an MLB subscription, but the app, I guess, was confusing, and he purchased it instead of like just downloading the app to log in with his own credentials or whatever like that. So it charged me for like the Red Sox subscription. It was like $200 or 150, something like that. Yeah. And I was like, yo, what was it?
Rough.
Yeah, I didn't catch it for a while. And they're like, we're sorry, like if you had said something right away, like we'd have done something for you, but like it's months later. And I was like, yo. And I tried to explain my case. I was like, yo, I never received an email that said, hey, like, thank you. Like, we are charging you this amount. Like, there's always a receipt email that says you are being billed this now. I was like, I never received that email. And they were like going back and forth with me about this stuff. And I was like, look, I don't want to get angry at you. It's not you, but like, can you just get me to customer retention? Instantly, she's like, okay, hold on a moment, Anthony, blah, blah, blah. Comes back like 5 minutes later, is like, you know, I spoke with retention for you, and, you know, see, you've been a Prime member for so long, you're in good standing, blah, blah, blah. We're going to do this. Just please, you know, these are the steps you can take for that kind of thing to prevent it from happening. Totally took it away. And that was the way, I handled it. I didn't get angry, I didn't get my voice. But, like, I know so many people don't do that these days. And it just, for a lot of these companies, it's just like, hey, you're our customer service rep, 32ACXY, whatever. It's like, just take the abuse and handle it. So,
I don't think I told you guys the story of Amazon, the latest saga.
That's always outsourced.
Of being, I was charged twice for a TV that I have returned.
Mentioned this, yes.
Yeah. Okay. It's happened twice now. It happened last time once, and then it happened again. They charged me again last week. I had to get the money back on my card. I had to call them up and yell it. I didn't yell. I was very nice.
You just said yell. You just said yell, bud.
Well, I was charged $220 twice for something I have returned, and the woman didn't understand what I was saying, and I was like, "Let me just explain it to you better." So I broke the whole thing down, and she's like, "I do see that now. I see that." And I'm like, "Thank you." I'm like, "Thank you." So I'm getting the money back. She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "And I'm not going to be recharged." And I'm like, "She's like, yeah." I'm like, "Can I get that in writing from you?" So she emailed me, which was really good of her. It was awesome this time. I got good response. It just matters who you talk to. I know that.
There's how you talk as well.
Hey, I'm always
there are bad customer service agents for sure.
Absolutely.
Or no matter what you say, you're just like, oh, your company like killed my child, and they'll be like, we're very sorry for your terrible experience today.
No, there are people that are there just to phone it in, and essentially they'll do whatever they can to transfer you to nowhere so that they can just get you off the phone. But I mean, at the same time, though, if you treat people with respect, they're going to treat you with respect. You're human, they're human. Like, that's the main thing.
Usually.
Well, when you speak with a human, not an automated attendant, it helps for sure. Again, treat people how you want to be treated. It's like people, like your parents tell you this, like as you're a kid, treat others how you want to be treated. And look at this. Good things can happen sometimes when you do that.
So, all right. Let's exit. Sorry. I'm just closing some windows here. All right, so we also have news. Let's see. MK Onslaught was announced today. Was that a mobile game?
That mobile money.
I'm sorry, Mike. I saw that today. I was like, oh, Mike's gonna be so upset when he reads this.
Fucking mobile. I hate mobile.
That was my first thought when you posted
everything.
it. I was like, oh god.
This is the 30-year anniversary spectacular.
It's all they got. It's all they got.
Is it delaying their other games from making this? That's really the question to ask, Mike.
How big is NetherRealm? I can't imagine them being that big that they could have this whole other department dealing with this that wouldn't slow them down a little bit. So yeah, I think probably.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems like they probably just outsourced this, I guess.
I think they did too.
Maybe, but there's been nothing else from them for a long time now.
This is again one of those cases where I think it's not understanding the customer perspective, and I'll go back to the right way to do it, like when Nintendo announced Metroid Dread. They're like Metroid Prime 4 is still being in development, guys. It's still being worked on, we promise. But here's a different Metroid game. And they showed that off. And the wrong way to do it was like with Blizzard and like Diablo Immortal, where like there was nothing about Diablo 4. There's like Diablo Immortal. And like that's
gonna love this.
Right. That was the wrong way to do it. And this I think is just
out there.
Kind of like that. It's like they absolutely should have said, guys, we're working on Mortal Kombat, whatever, or Injustice 3 or whatever they're working on.
Is, yeah.
But to be like, hey guys, 30th anniversary, mobile game, Mortal Kombat, it's like it's a little tone deaf, It's a little tone deaf.
Gotcha.
In my opinion, anyway. And I'm not even like a big Mortal Kombat fan, but I'm just like, I read that and I was like, ugh, I feel sad for Mortal Kombat.
It's gross.
Yeah, especially for your 30th anniversary.
Yeah,
exactly. It's coming. It's not like it comes out of nowhere.
It does almost feel like they couldn't do what they wanted to do, so they scrambled to get this in for the anniversary.
Yeah. Definitely felt like that. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it comes out. I doubt anybody's. It's mobile.
None of us are really gonna care.
We're not gonna care.
It's not our. I don't think it's. So we are not the audience.
We're not mobile gamers.
Yeah. Let's go with other style of gaming as well. Netflix is seriously exploring a cloud gaming offering.
I mean, they got games on their service already.
Yeah. Now this is something like I think I posted it before, but you could go into the Netflix app and then download games through it and stuff like that.
Sure, sounds Into the Breach is on there.
Yeah, Into the Breach, yeah. So it's not like they're getting like just crap games, but I'm not saying everything's great. Like they, are curating to something. I don't know, it's interesting, whatever. Netflix wants to use their money to get more games on the platform and expand their service.
Sure.
More power to them. It's not like, they're making like Game Flicks or something like that and then it's add-on with that.
No, it's
we might get there at some point in time.
Yeah, they're not trying to replace consoles. They're just over time add more content for you. They want to keep you in their system.
Right, and I appreciate that rather than like it's like, oh damn, another like, like Amazon with Luna and Google with the thing that was formerly known as Stadia and stuff like that. Not everybody should be, a publisher or stay in your lane and then maybe take baby steps.
Also, they crushed their earnings today. The earnings came out today.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
They crushed them. Their stock was up 14% today after hours.
Oh,
after they crushed it. Yep. I guess they added 2.4 million new subscribers. They talked about password sharing. It's cracked down.
I did see that.
Yeah. So that's coming next year. They're gonna offer people who are sharing stuff a friends and family plan. Stuff like that.
That'll work okay for a lot of people. Like for me, I'd split that with people. That'd be great. I'd be all for it.
But yeah, they expected to be like around 213, and they actually hit 310, almost $1 over what they expected, which is ridiculous.
Usually on that news it goes down, which because it's bizarre. But give them credit.
You buy on hype and sell
they
on
crushed
news.
it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So all right. Let's go with the Gotham Knights news real quick. Capped at 30 frames. Have you seen?
Oh no, Gotham Knights. You're right.
I got it right.
I know. I'm so used to everyone getting it wrong that I've reversed it.
Have you seen the PC requirements for this game?
It's insane, dude. It's insane.
Ridiculous. They're fucking ridiculous.
That's not verified.
No, it's not. Those PCs can't run that.
This is feeling a little cyberpunky to me at this point.
it's not optimized. You can see it. Like it's being now. I can tell you 100% this game is being rushed, which is stupid because of how long it's been in development. But
well, I mean,
yeah,
I'm not. I want to defend the game or seem like I'm defending it, but Warner Brothers does not respect the PC platform because even Arkham Knight, when that came out, that had shit. Like,
Mortal Kombat.
We talked about that.
No, they don't. Yeah, it's an afterthought.
Right. It took a long time for those PC platforms to get this.
Well, if you look at the console version, it's capped at 60 frames. 30
so
frames.
That's the story.
You wish it was 60.
But the PC at least can make 60 frames.
Let's get to 40. If you can get to 40, it feels like 60 at least.
So yeah, this is the problem here. Traditionally they've made console games and then ported them to the PC. This seems like the opposite here, and they again announced earlier that despite assurances way earlier that this would be more cross-gen, that it's exclusive to next-gen consoles, and now they say, oh, on the consoles, the next-gen exclusive consoles, or current-gen, I suppose, it's only 30 frames per second. You need a PC to get to 60, which seems pretty insane to me.
No performance mode, like there's no option. Like I would have to imagine they're gonna patch that in at some point, but if you're gonna launch with that, like that is unacceptable in this day and age with the technology, the power in these systems. That's unacceptable.
Especially since you have to pay $70 for this next gen thing. On PC, you only pay $60, and it's just there's a lot that's all fucky. So. Well, that's always happens though. But so not a good look. I think this game is a little cyberpunky. Like he said, I don't think it's optimized well.
This game will not survive.
Like, the thing that makes me sad is that this is like the first chance we can get to play as Red Hood. I love Red Hood.
Well, you can play him in a challenge
in an Arkham game.
No, he's in an Arkham game. Slightly.
Challenge mode.
Well, there's actually a very, very short story DLC for him.
I mean, that's like saying like, oh, you can play as Harley Quinn in Arkham.
No, you can.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You can play it, but it's like a separate little thing that's just like a little stupid side off thing. This is a full game that you can play as, and you're getting non-lethal bullet
armor piercing.
I don't mind that much. It's the same thing with like how everything that Batman does will kill them, and it really doesn't. You just suspend your disbelief, make it work for the story.
Red Hood kills, man. That's his thing.
I know, but he wouldn't be in the Bat family there. He wouldn't be on good terms with them in this situation if he was killing them.
Well, maybe it could be part of the story.
It probably will be.
Probably should be. And like I said, we're just talking about taking the thing away from people. Like, you don't take the thing away. Like, come on.
Yeah, I don't know. All right. What do we have lastly? We have lastly in the news. We have the Bayonetta voice actor. Is it Hellena Taylor?
Yep. So yeah, this is why you don't get wound up about the initial article until you follow through a little bit, because I feel like the opposite is true of what we thought.
It was reported. Was it yesterday, I believe, or 2 days ago? No. 2 days ago, right?
Friday afternoon.
Oh, Friday. It was last week. Okay, that was Monday.
Yeah, it's like...
So it was reported that she basically only was offered $4,000 to reprise her role, and to take over the voice of Bayonetta.
Her session, she forgot to mention.
Right. So what happened was Friday afternoon, Hellena Taylor, who those of you don't know is the voice actress for Bayonetta. And she did a great job on those roles. And even last year, when we got the first trailer for the game of Bayonetta 3, it was immediately noticeable that whoever was talking as Bayonetta was not the original voice actress. So there's always questions then about what was going on with that. And then over the year, like, unfortunately, she was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to be in it, this, that, and the other. But on Friday, she just came out on Twitter with, I think, 4 videos, basically outlining that she was not reprising her role, and that it was because she was being given a rate that she deemed unfair by Platinum Games for her, voice and stuff like that. And she claimed that they had only offered her $4,000, and this was after she had personally reached out to Kamiya, who's the lead producer on the Bayonetta game. And he was like, well, let me take care of this. And then they came back and tried to do $4,000. And she was like, that's gross, that's, not, that undervaluing who I am. I'm, praying that, this, that, and the other thing, her qualities, her credentials, all this, whatever I want to take away from her. But then she kind of like went off on a rant about how like, Bayonetta's like a $500 million franchise. And I was like, okay, like that raised an eyebrow for me personally. I was like, I love this series. I love this series. I bought this game multiple times, but I find that number highly dubious.
Suspect, yes.
Very suspect.
Doubt.
But the thing that really got to me personally was when she started talking about the replacement voice actress, who we now know is Jennifer Hale, who is one of the
Commander Shepard.
Yep,
probably a bigger name than her.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And she kind of like went on to this thing that was like, she shouldn't be able to say that she's Bayonetta. She has no right, this, that, and the other thing. And I was like, that doesn't feel right with me personally, because like voice actors or actors in general get replaced for various reasons all the time, especially in the game industry. Yeah. And I was like, look, I'm not personally happy about it. I would love to have the original voice actress back, but like saying that you're a replacement because you turned down the deal kind of felt weird. But anyway, that was my personal opinion there. But like, she came out with a series of videos and she was tearful and stuff like that. And I get it. I totally understand that a character that she was a part of for a long time to be attached to. But the internet, being the fucking internet, decided, okay, and just to say, like, I think it's okay to believe
the original voice actor also like petitioned her fans and the fans of Bayonetta to
boycott. I'm sorry, to
donate instead. Yeah,
Bayonetta 3. They were like, she was like,
so she did throw that out there. Yes. She's like, let's boycott this game,
right, and stuff like that. So the internet, being the internet, fucking didn't even like just take her at face value, which is kind of weird because any other time a woman comes out and says like anything happened to her, it's like, oh, where's the proof? Where's the proof? This and the other thing. And people just created a mob, basically picked up their torches, picked up their pitchforks, was like, fuck Platinum, fuck Nintendo, fuck Jennifer Hale, and just across social media just like harassed each and every one of them. Like Jennifer Hale's getting so much shit, Kamiya was getting so much shit, and people were, again, he's a Japanese developer, getting talked to in English on Twitter about something at like 1 a.m. Japanese time or 2 a.m. or whatever like that all of a sudden. And he was blocking so many accounts on Twitter that Twitter actually shut his account down for a day because they thought it was a bot program running this like script to just block accounts and stuff like that. And then all these voice throughout the weekend, and of course it was the weekend, so no companies were working. But over the weekend, all these other voice actors like came out saying all these sorts of things, sharing their details and stuff like that.
Well, did my boy Troy say something?
I don't know if Troy said something, but Steve Bloom definitely did, and he came to the defense of Jennifer Hale that said, like, I have no idea what is going on with this project. I have no insider information about that. But what I do know is Jennifer Hale is the best among us in this industry. So if she is saying that whatever, like, or even if she didn't make a statement initially or something like that, like, just leave her alone.
Regardless of what happened.
Right, regardless of what happened, like,
he said, just leave her alone. I saw his post.
So then the weekend happened, stuff like that. And then today, Jason Schreier and Bloomberg came out with a piece that was like, hey, so that wasn't the complete story. Surprise, surprise. And actually, what had happened was initially, and I learned a lot about voice acting rates and stuff like that. And I understand
I didn't know
now
that
why.
when I was talking. Yeah.
And I understand now why, like, people like Nolan North, Jennifer Hale, and whatever do so many video games is because they fucking have to, because they get paid an absurd hourly rate, but they only work on so many projects a year and stuff like that. But that's how they reach the upper echelons and stuff like that. So it's like, now it's like, oh, Galaxy Brain, this makes sense.
Yeah. They also can like get way more done than you'd expect in a short period of time.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, Jason Schreier did some investigative journalism, which he's excellent and known for. But he basically said, I have seen proof, I have seen the receipts that basically said that Platinum offered her to hire her at a rate between $3,000 and $4,000 per session for a guarantee of 4 to 5 sessions, which would be a total of like $15,000 to $20,000.
Right, minimum 15.
Right, minimum of 15. And Hellena neglected to leave that out. She focused on the $4,000 amount. And reading between the lines, it seemed to me like they wanted her for that. She came back and said, no, I want 6 figures plus residuals, which is like, oof.
Yeah,
You're gonna bankrupt
unprecedented.
Yeah, unprecedented. It's like I
don't think any
voice actor.
do any voice actors do anything like that. I don't think so.
You don't get residuals, no.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not something. It is something maybe should be talked about eventually, but not six figures.
Right,
if you're way off the pay scale here, if that's the case. I was like, wow.
Absolutely. So Platinum, and it's not like Platinum shut her down. Apparently, there was a long bout of negotiations, but ultimately they're like, look, we can't do that. And then allegedly, that's when she reached out to Kamiya directly, and Kamiya's like, look, we want you to be in the voice of the game. You're important to the franchise and the characters, but like we can't afford that. We're gonna go with somebody else, but we'd love to at least have you as like a cameo or send off the original Bayonetta, because spoiler alert, light spoiler alert for those of you who don't know, the new Bayonetta is all about multiverse and stuff. So there's like multiple Bayonettas.
Oh,
so they're
another
like,
one.
Yep. So they're like, we'll pay you $4,000 for a 1 day or 2 day whatever session, or $4,000 a day 2 day session to do your send off as the character and stuff like that. And that is probably what she was referencing with the 4,000 comments. So it's a big mess. All these people just fucking harass people for no fucking reason without complete information, and it's just frustrating.
I do know that now that Schreier revealed something, that when my boy Troy does talk about it, he will blame Schreier somehow.
I'm sure he will.
That's what he likes.
I'm sure he will.
He will do that.
No, I mean, it sounds like
Mike. I mean, your best friend.
I mean, it does teach the fact that like when news breaks, wait for the entire story to come out so you know where you should be. Don't just go grab your pitchfork.
Right. Like the thing is I'll say you can believe somebody at face value and be like, hey, like this is my experience. It sucks. Initially I'd be like, yeah, well, that sucks. I
posted it thinking like, holy crap, I felt horrible for her. When I posted that, I was like, I feel bad for that woman. Yeah, absolutely. I thought she was getting blacklisted or something. I'm like, Jesus, that's terrible.
Right. But it's one thing to be like,
Maybe
hey,
now.
I'm taking you at face value and that you're in good faith telling me the entire truth. That's one thing. But it's another thing to be like, I'm going to take every word you just said, 100% at truth. There's no room for interpretation.
Gospel.
There's no gray or shades of gray between it. I'm going to pick up a fucking sword. I'm going to stab people for you. Like, that is crazy to me. It's like, go shoot this person. Like, whoa. Like, I'm going to go talk to them first before I do any of that, because that sounds kind of fucked up.
Right. And the whole thing is, if you hear one side of the story and not the entire story, and you consider it to be the, gospel of everything that's going to be here, you have no idea what's going on. And it could be that was the case. I mean, that could have totally been. Yeah, that doesn't give you the right to go and harass people.
This is not your battle, dude. This is not your battle.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is like, she could have been telling the truth about it all and like been truthful about it, and at the same time, like, they don't, the people that are replacing, they don't deserve all this hate.
No, they
because
don't. It's bad.
They are taking a job offer that
it's not the same as like scabbing or per se, and like a strike or something.
Yeah,
it's not quite that.
Yeah, that's what some people they were calling.
I see why they feel like they might make that leap, but it's not the same.
Yeah,
it's just money negotiations are weird. Whenever when it's their primary thing is money, I'm always a little skeptical either way, because there's always hidden stuff for both sides with stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Money gets sticky.
Probably this woman like shot her shot and being like, you know what, I'm gonna see if I can like leverage my position 2 games in and see if I can get as much money as I can.
Yeah,
which is good for you.
And they called her and they're like, yeah, we can't do that.
We can't. I mean, we can't afford that. We're gonna give you as much as we can. Take it or leave it. And she chose not to take it. And
I just wonder what was behind the desire to tell people to just not buy the game. Like,
I
don't know where
she's pissed off.
And that's honestly what I think it is, because again, we had over a year of information of somebody else's being Bayonetta's voice in 3. So it wasn't like this is a last minute decision. It was for over a year. At which point she could have come forward with information to help, if she wanted to get the fans behind her or something like that, rally them behind her. She could have said it at any point between then and now. But she chose to wait 2 weeks before launch.
Maybe she didn't believe they would go through with it. They would call her in for the last 2 weeks to re-record everything. Apparently they can, since it's only like 4 sessions.
Yeah. She waited until 2 weeks before the game is launched. The week that the preview started going out for the game, which are glowing right now and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the fact that she said boycott the game, not, hey, let Platinum Games know that you really want me back as the voice of Bayonetta or something like that. To me, it like totally undermined everything she had to say, to the part where like I don't feel bad for her at all anymore. Like to the point where it's like
didn't something similar happen with the like Bender voice actor for some like Futurama thing that was upcoming?
Yeah.
So he took a stand for the other voice actors too. Like he didn't also say that like it was egregious what they were offering. He was asking for more, and he made that known. He didn't say anything about the he's just like, I feel like we should be making more money. So but
and the thing is, at the end of the day, the underlying truth is, and now that I found out all this information about voice acting, voice actors do not get the respect they deserve. As Chris Pratt as Mario, number one thing there. They don't get paid what they deserve and stuff like that. And this is not even going to like anime and stuff like that, where Crunchyroll and Sony or voice actors are like trying to boycott them because they're getting underpaid and stuff like that. So it's just shitty overall. But because of this act now of what Hellena, however you pronounce it, did, it just kind of undermines that whole message, because she didn't make it about the industry. She made it about her. Right.
Yeah.
Because
it does bring, obviously like their hourly rate is great.
Yeah.
But they're not needed for, more than 5 hours
yeah.
for like a giant project, like a multi-million-dollar project. So you just wonder maybe this does open up a conversation. Probably won't, because of the way she went about it.
Right. And that's the important part. Yeah.
About the residuals. Like if someone is really iconically tied to a character,
I do think a residual should be a
conversation. Would it make sense? Because actors, in live action actors, always not always, but can definitely get that pretty commonly. So
that's also
it's interesting.
A gamble too, because they'll take less money up front and say like, "Oh, throw me a percentage." And that's a gamble, because if the thing fails, you're not getting the same guaranteed money. So
so I mean, there was definitely a message to be had there, but unfortunately, she was really selfish about it. And I really do think this thing on Friday was just a last minute fuck you, middle finger to Platinum to try to just cause as much havoc and harm as she could, because it was, and on Era and Twitter, it was insane. Like literally just seeing all these people come out of the woodwork with such passionate hatred. And it's so crazy to me, because the last time this happened was when Bayonetta 2 was announced. Because again, Bayonetta 1 came out, was like, some underground, hit, because it was, like Devil May Cry and stuff like that, new IP, that, this and the other thing. And then nothing about Bayonetta 2 until one day it shows up at that Nintendo Direct for the fucking Wii U. It's exclusive, because Nintendo was funny, and people just lost their mind. They're like, I'd rather have this game not exist than be exclusive to Wii U. It's like, I talked about that on this podcast. I was like, how does that make sense? Like, if you're saying you're a fan, you'd rather have this not exist at all for anybody, rather than be on the platform of the system that you don't own. Like, that to me is just crazy. Yeah. I don't know what it is about Bayonetta, but it just fucking gets people in a tizzy, and it's insane. And social media is just worse these days.
It just exaggerate. Exacerbate. That's it. Thank you.
Exacerbate.
But it's unfortunate, because again, she could have been more outspoken throughout the process to get this going, and but the timing of it all, and it just doesn't seem good.
She just comes off disgruntled in the end.
Yep. Yes, that's what it looks like now. Yeah. So, all right. And that's going to wrap up the Gamecast episode, folks. So thanks for tuning in. You can write us allyoucangeek at gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter. We are live streaming Tuesday nights on Twitch, so join us there, please. Ask us some questions live on the air, or the following day we're on YouTube, so you can subscribe to either channel, like and subscribe. And we appreciate it, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. We're done.